What's up, guys? I want to talk about why I always aim for partnerships when I am selling. My process is turned into something more consultative. It is something where I have to have conversations with someone, I have to speak through current market conditions, and I want to be a resource to my customers. I don't just want to move freight for them from A to B, although there is a time and a place for customers like that. I do have a few, but it was more so when I just began to get my feet off of the ground. I just needed opportunities. So I pressed real hard. And then I wanted to become something a bit more than just someone who moves straight from A to B. I wanted to become somebody who was a resource. I wanted to become someone who was more ingrained in the network, someone who helped make bigger time decisions, even if they don't work out in my favor. If I receive less freight because I help a customer streamline their transportation and logistics process, systems, networks, that's just a sacrifice I'm willing to make to be helpful. And it may bite me short term or it may even bite me long term, but I think it brings me into more of a scope and a lens of a partner. And that is what I'm looking for, because partners who actually create valuable change within a supply chain, whether it's good or bad for their bottom line, they tend to get referred out to others. And that is what I want. My clients, they go to trade shows, they go to these different networking events where they meet other logistics managers and directors and VPs, and they all speak with one another. And when they say, this is the change that we've implemented, and we actually had some help from Adam Patterson over at Patterson Logistics, all of a sudden my name gets tossed out there in a very good light from people who are doing things right off of recommendations and conversations that they've had with me. And then I get referred in more clientele, more potentially paying customers for maybe not a good amount of freight, but just to listen, learn, speak through things that they see in the market and that I see in the market. And with that, this whole scope of growth for my business comes along, because I can actually send out retainers for, you just want information from me, or you just want to speak through this. I can then send out just hourly fees to speak with people if it comes down to that. It hasn't yet, and I'm okay with it not, because I move freight for the people who I consult for, with, and help in this space. So the moving of the freight is the payment, and then I offer the value up front. So I offer the value of the knowledge, the experience, what I'm seeing in the marketplace, the trends that we're seeing, the data that we have. And in exchange for that, I end up earning freight from most of my clients. And that's been a very good thing. But I always prefer a partnership. I would prefer to be a resource for my brain and my knowledge and my what people cannot take from me, opposed to just moving a load from A to B, because then it's a very transactional relationship. You become very commoditized, and then it's a race to the bottom. When you offer knowledge, experience, intel, and know-how, you start to become irreplaceable, because nobody knows exactly what I know. Nobody's experienced exactly what I've experienced, and nobody's done exactly what I've done. So with that, I separate myself from the crowd, because everybody who's just entering into the space who doesn't have any knowledge, experience, know-how, they just know how to get a freight. They just know how to get a load moved from A to B. So I am immediately levels above them, because I can do that, but I can offer knowledge, experience, data, and I can infer where things are going to go and what's going to be the smartest move for someone's logistics network. Take care.